I'm Gertie, and I'm going to tell you the story of E.T. You can read along with me in your book as you listen to the story. You'll know it's time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. I couldn't tell you about E.T. before. Elliot said it had to be a secret because it was probably the most important thing that ever happened. I couldn't even tell Mom. But it's not a secret anymore. So Elliot says it's okay if I tell you now. It was almost Halloween, and I was in the kitchen trying to find out what everybody was dressing up like. I wanted to go as a cowgirl, but nobody was listening to me because they think I'm just a kid. Elliot was telling Mom about something weird he saw in the backyard the night before. A goblin or something. And Michael was teasing him.
Maybe it was an iguana.
Well, it was real, I swear.
Maybe an elf or a leprechaun.
It was nothing like that. Nobody believed Elliot. It was kind of nice to see him getting teased instead of me for a change. The next day when I get home from nursery school, I heard Elliot and Michael upstairs. I rushed into Elliot's room to show him my art project. And there was the goblin! Yeah, it looked like a giant mushroom with eyes. I screamed! And then the goblin screamed! That made Michael jump back and knock over the bookshelf. Then I screamed some more. I'm a good screamer. Elliot almost had a fit. He slammed the door so Mom wouldn't hear us. Michael threw his hand over my mouth and dragged me into the closet. The hysterical goblin ran in after us, screaming all the way. Then Elliot ran in and slammed the door. Now I had time to look at the goblin calmly. He was smaller than me, but had long fingers and a squashy body and big, buggy eyes. It looked like this big turtle without a shell. Grossed me out. Elliot could see I was still real scared.
He won't hurt you, Gertie. I'm keeping him. Is he a boy or a girl? He's a boy. But look, you can't tell. Not even Mom. Why not? Because, grown-ups can't see him. Only little kids can see him.
Give me a break. I may be little, but I'm not stupid. Elliot seemed to know what the goblin was thinking. He said it was sad and alone. And anyway, in the closet with all our stuffed animals, he didn't look so scary anymore. So he promised to keep it a secret. Elliot could tell that the goblin was hungry. So that night, we sneaked some food upstairs and watched it eat. He used his funny long fingers to pick up the food. Ugh, I wrinkled my nose. Is he a pig? He sure eats like one. I also brought the goblin a geranium flower in a pot. It made him happy. I guess it made the flower happy too, because it bloomed right in front of our eyes. Elliot showed the goblin a map of Earth.
We are here. Where are you from?
The goblin waved his long fingers. And 5 clay balls flew up in the air and spun around like planets and suns. Then he pointed out the window at the stars far away. That's when we knew he was a man from outer space. Michael said a man from outer space was called a Extra-Terrestrial. But Elliot just called him E.T. I like that better. It's easier to say. One day, I came home from school and found E.T. all by himself. He was watching one of my favorite cartoon shows on the TV. It was teaching the letter B. I said, B, B, B. Then E.T. opened his mouth.
Thing?
It's a big. Good.
Birdie? And Bobby?
Good.
This was great. Now I had somebody my own size to play with. So I taught him more words. I took E.T. up to my room for a dress-up tea party. I put a wig on him. And you know, he didn't look so ugly. So I put a dress and some jewelry on him. And now he looked kind of cute. But when Elliot came home and saw E.T. all dressed up, he wasn't happy at all.
Oh, you should give him his dignity.
But then E.T. surprised him.
Elliot.
What?
I smiled.
I taught him how to talk now. He can talk now.
Elliot was excited.
E.T., can you say that? Can you say E.T.? E.T.
E.T. E.T. E.T.
E.T. led Elliot over to the window and pointed towards the stars again.
Home. Home. E.T. Phone home.
Elliot could tell E.T. was homesick.
E.T. phone home, and they'll come.
Come home.
So we had to help E.T. build a communicator so he could call people to tell them to come and take him home. Elliot and Michael got all kinds of weird things, like an old record player and a blender and an umbrella. But I gave him the most important thing, my electronic spelling game. That's how I helped. I helped to get on Halloween night. Elliot and Michael dressed E.T. up in a ghost sheet. Everybody thought E.T. was me. That's how we sneaked E.T. out of the house past Mom. Then Elliot drove E.T. up to the woods on his bike and helped him set up his communicator. When Elliot didn't come home that night, Mom was really worried. I wanted to tell her where he was, but I had promised to keep it a secret. Elliot finally showed up the next morning. He looked so tired and so sick. You know why? Because E.T. was lost. Everything was going rotten, and it scared me so much. Michael finally found E.T. in the woods and sneaked him back in the house. E.T. didn't look well at all. Michael and I were real worried, so we decided it was time to tell Mom. She walked into the bathroom and saw Elliot sitting on the floor next to E.T.
We're sick. I think we're dying.
Mom didn't know what E.T. was, so I told her.
Man from the moon.
E.T. reached out his arms.
Mom.
That's when Mom freaked out. She grabbed Elliot, Michael, and me and rushed downstairs to get away from E.T. Suddenly, people in spacesuits bursted into our house. They came in through the doors, the windows, everywhere. They were scientists, and they were looking for E.T. When the scientists found E.T., he was extra sick. They tried very, very hard to make him better. They put a big bag over the whole house and brought in a lot of machines, but it didn't help. Elliot pleaded with E.T.
E.T., stay with me, please. I'll be right here.
But it was too late. The scientists wrapped up E.T.'s body to take it to their lab. I started to cry, and so did Mom. Elliot stared at E.T. so long.
I'll believe in you all my life. Every day. E.T. I love you.
As Elliot started to leave, E.T. opened his big eyes.
E.T. phone home.
He's alive!
Oh, E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home.
Elliot and Michael sneaked E.T. out of the house. The police and scientists chased him all over the neighborhood. And just when the police had them trapped, E.T. made all their bikes fly right over the cars and houses. I knew where they were going. E.T.'s people were coming for him, and it was about time. Mom and I drove to the place in the forest where the spaceship would land. Deep in the woods, we found this huge round spaceship covered with lights. And we all said goodbye to E.T. I gave him the geranium as a going away present. I just wanted to say goodbye. I kissed him on his funny round nose. E.T. smiled.
Good.
E.T. waddled up the ramp into his spaceship. He was holding my geranium. Then the door closed and the spaceship blasted off. E.T. was going home. Every time I look at the stars at night, I think of E.T. I hope he comes back someday.